What conclusions can you draw from the following true statements? So again, it says they're all true statements, so we need to evaluate what the statements are, whether they're conditional statements or just basic fact statements, right? And then we'll determine whether the law of syllogism and or the law of detachment are necessary to conclude anything. So if we start reading, the very first word I see is if, right? So I know I'm starting off with a conditional statement. I'm going to slide that over a little bit to have some room. So it says, if you are climbing a mountain at an altitude of 28,500 feet or higher, then you are on the tallest mountain, I should say mountain, I've lots of typos, above sea level on Earth. Is this even close to M on the keypad? No, it's not anywhere close to it. No idea. Use that fingers to this, I don't know. Doesn't make sense. All right. That's an if-then statement, right? I can identify the hypothesis of it. You are climbing a mountain at an altitude of 28,500 feet or higher. The conclusion, you are on the tallest mountain above sea level on Earth. All right, continuing. The next word I see is the if. So again, I want to evaluate each sentence whether it's an if-then statement or not. And if-then is really basically simple to see, right? Again, categorical statements, you know, all math students love math and things like that we all know to be true, right? So we have to make if-then statements out of those. But if you see the word if, it's pretty obvious. So if you are on the tallest mountain above sea level on Earth, then you are on Mount Everest. All right, so that's another if-then statement. The hypothesis is you are on the tallest mountain above sea level on Earth. The conclusion is you are on Mount Everest. And then finally, the next statement says you are climbing a mountain at an altitude of 29,000 feet. That is not an if-then statement. That's just a statement, right? The sky is blue, 2 plus 2 equals 4. It's not saying if something, then something. It's just saying this is what's happening. All right, so the two conditional statements have the setup for the law of syllogism, if you recognize that. You are on the tallest mountain above sea level on Earth is the conclusion of the first one. You are on the tallest mountain above sea level on Earth is the hypothesis of the second one. So we know from the law of syllogism right off the bat that this hypothesis should lead to this conclusion, right? And if I'm just looking at that hypothesis leading to that conclusion, now I'm looking at this green highlighted statement. It says you are climbing a mountain at an altitude of 29,000 feet. Does that match any statement up here on the board?
Yes.
Which one is it? Well, why doesn't it match?
Because it's 500 off.
Okay, what does this word say?
Higher.
Higher. Is 29,000 higher than 28,500? So be careful that they don't always give you the exact number. Sometimes they'll give you like this range of numbers, as long as it fits in this range, and they throw it in that range, right? So you're climbing a mountain at an altitude of 29,000 feet, which matches the hypothesis up here that we're, as long as we're 28,500 feet or higher, right? And 29,000 feet is higher, right? So this statement matches that hypothesis. This goes back to the law of detachment from day one's lesson, right? Law of detachment says if you have a true conditional statement, which again, by the law of syllogism, this hypothesis, if you're climbing a mountain at an altitude of 28,500 feet or higher, leads to the proper conclusion you're on Mount Everest. And it says to assume everything's true, so we're doing this too, right? So this happened, which means this has to happen. So the conclusion I can draw from all the statements there, the simplest conclusion is, I am on Mount Everest. So look and see at the structure of the things that you're working with. If it's just all if-then statements, you're only using the law of syllogism, you should get an if-then statement conclusion. If you have if-then statements mixed with just basic statements, the law of syllogism might be used to create a better if-then statement, but then the law of detachment is going to get you the basic conclusion at the end there if everything matches up like it should. Okay. if they gave me different information, if it says you are climbing a mountain at an altitude of 8,000 feet. It might be any mountain, and I can't conclude anything from this, right? I probably know I'm not on Mount Everest, right? But even that, I wouldn't want to do that, because logically, based on what they're giving for our facts, I would want to use just the information at hand as opposed to things I make up in my own mind. All right? So that's law of syllogism, new, law of detachment, old, and then again, that's kind of a hybrid of the two. So make sure that you are understanding the technique there, and again, what type of conclusion you draw. Do you just draw just a statement conclusion, law of detachment, or are you concluding an if-then statement because it's law of syllogism? That's what we're looking